What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Y'all already know, title of the video, hat time for that thing right there. We're gonna do a little bit of demo today, and finally cleaned up a little bit in the garage. I actually was gonna roll the car in here so we can work on it, but we do gotta demo all the old AC stuff out of here because we're gonna put vintage air kit in it, LS swap, all the goodies. But I figured I'd just leave it out here, do the demo real quick, and then I want to pressure wash the engine bay and all that good stuff. So I don't want to pull it in right away. But let me show you guys what's going up in here. This monster, little 6.2, you know, 6.2 LS3. What you guys think? Oh yeah, that mad boy right there with the 4L80. 4L80, we're going to squeeze these things up in there. But there's a few things we probably got to do to this thing. We might have to change the oil pan because I don't think this oil pan is going to work, along with a few other things. But I think we're just going to get down to it and start the demo on the 72 Chevelle. We're going to pull out the dash. I need to pull out the dash. Let me get the keys real quick. We're going to pull out the dash. What else? All the old AC components, things like that. Also, tune in, guys. Stay tuned, I should say, because we are going to be doing, where are the keys at? Where are the keys at? We are going to be, what do you call it? SS dash swap. So, my Chevelle guys, if you guys are looking to do an SS dash swap, you guys definitely want to stay tuned for that. We got a new dashboard as well that we're going to be doing. So we're going to do SS dash swap. He's got the sweep style in it now. We'll rip all that stuff out and put an SS dash in it along with some Dakota digitals and all that good stuff. But you guys are not going to want to miss it, so stick around. Let's see what we got up in here. Oh yeah, this thing's nice, fellas. This thing is very nice rod. Like I said, first things first, we're gonna rip out this dash. He's got the quick release steering wheel in here. Looks good. See if I can get it off with one hand. Nope. Nope. Come on. I can't get it off, y'all. But we're gonna part this. Oh, we're gonna rip apart, I should say, this old dash. Take the dash pad off. There's a bunch of screws that line up here. Take all that stuff off. The biggest thing is wiring. We're gonna disconnect all the wiring from down there, along with the e-brake. What else? We're gonna end up having to drop the steering column in it, guys. If you guys ever done one of these, you got to drop the steering column to kind of get all that stuff out. But the biggest thing, I said, get that top dash off, disconnect all your components. Don't forget about, like I said, that brake release, and then the main harness from the firewall. So let's get down to it. Might as well get this thing stored it up. I want to give you guys a quick overview real quick on what you should remember to disconnect. Like there towards the end, I totally forgot to disconnect. These are the actual connectors that go to all your actual AC, old AC dash components. So those are all the original ones. I forgot to disconnect that. That was the only thing I forgot to disconnect, but obviously disconnect all those. I you can disconnect the actual connector where all these vacuum lines come to on the actual AC. I just cut them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just cut everything because that's all going in the trash. All this stuff is going out because it's vintage air is going in. So along with the cable for the box, all that stuff is garbage for us. So you guys can disconnect them how you want, but that's kind of what I do. Also, make sure the parking brake cable, we talked about that. Also your door jamb switches, make sure you guys disconnect door jamb switches. All your ignition switch, I did that earlier. I kind of did that all prior from me even dropping the steering column. So disconnect that. What else did you guys, or should you disconnect? That door jamb switch as well, make sure you disconnect that. All your AC components, these guys had these all duct taped, it looks like at one point. Doesn't look like it was working too well because they got other stuff plugged. Any extra stereo stuff, like you guys see, we had extra stereo stuff kind of here. Disconnect that. Down here at the bottom, you're gonna have the huge cable that comes from right here. I just cut it, like I said. We're not using that anymore. We're going LS in here anyways with the speedometer. This is the speedometer gear, speedo gear for your cluster. We're not using that. We're going to pull that off the transmission, or off the core I should say, because the tranny's already out of it. Also make sure you disconnect your high beam switch, the main connector bulkhead here with the two 8mm screws that hold it, and then one 10mm on the outside. You're gonna have to go to the engine side for that one. And then also this is your main harness for your tail lights for the rear. And then they had this freaking, that thing was hanging me up too. Somebody, looks like they added some kind of power or something at one point with this crap. Also you got turn signal switch here, disconnect that. What else? Obviously parking brake, we went over that. Trying to think of anything else that you guys might want to disconnect. Obviously remove all your hardware, but that's pretty much it. We got the dash out. Let's go walk over to it. Man, this thing's a beast. We got a lot of wiring and cleaning up to do, especially for the stereo. It looks like you guys see what's going on here. Let's see, they had this extra wire. We had to get a drill in there, and they had to like ground it for this. Looks like it's some kind of extra wiring they put in here. They had a couple extra gauges in here at one point, which actually the wiring wasn't terrible, but it's not the best either. Could be a lot better. But we're gonna get rid of all this stuff, clean all this stuff up. See, they got this extra tack meter. It looks like it's what it is. He got a tack meter there. He has another one here in this AC vent. Oh, that's not good. We're gonna have to find him an AC vent for his vintage air, so we're gonna have to get rid of that. But we got a lot of wiring cleaning up to do, guys. Oh, look at that. No glove, no love. Yeah, buddy. Guys, so we are at the engine bay. I started trying to take off that freaking heater AC box out the way, but I remembered I got to remove the wheel well in order to do it. But that means jacking up the car and all that. So I think I'm going to skip that for a sec and then move to this side. The side that nobody likes to deal with. Wiring. We're gonna clean up these wires too. I'm probably gonna pull this back and see if we can get out all the wires we're not gonna need anymore. Not to mention, looks like this car, believe it or not, was a 3 on the tree kind of deal. So if you guys see here, that's your shifter here from the steering column, and that obviously shifts your transmission down there with the linkage. But we're gonna end up cutting that off. I'm gonna go get my cutting wheel and we'll cut it off right there, cut it flush, and cut this cable out of the way too, this throttle cable, because he's got a floor shifter now. So he added a floor shifter in here, and we're gonna end up obviously with the floor shifter, not to mention for the 4L80E, so that way he has it there too. So we'll do that, get rid of that. And also note, with the floor shifter now, we got to add a park neutral safety switch for the floor shifter so his reverse lights and everything else works. So we will have to redo the pigtail that goes up to the actual steering column versus now going to the actual shifter. So we're gonna have to extend that pigtail. But let me go get my little cutter out. Where'd I leave that thing at? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Let's see. Just like that. Just like that. Well, now we have access to all our wires here. Let's see here. Something's holding them up. There we go. So with that, now we can actually take whatever wires we're not going to need out of the old harness, clean up the harness. Like as far as the engine bay side, with the LS, all we're going to need is our starter power, and that's about it. And oh yeah, we'll leave the windshield wiper wires as well, but everything else is pretty much going to come out with this LS swap. So what I'll do is I'll depin it out of here. These are very easy to depin, guys. If you look, all you have to do is pinch the terminals here, pinch them with like a small set of needle nose, and then pull on it, and then the wire should come right out. So we'll do that, clean that stuff up, and then like I said, I got to jack up the car to get the wheel well out, to get the AC out. But that's kind of what's going on right now. Yeah, guys, we're gonna stop the video here. We're gonna keep working. You guys already know, stay wrenching.